Did you know you're losing up to 50% or more of every credit card payment you make to interest? And the banks, well, they are just counting on you never figuring out how. But in this video, I'm going to show you a super simple 1 minute hack that will slash the credit card interest you're paying in half. And I also have a super simple calculator called How Much Interest Are You Really Paying that I've used with my clients and students for the past decade. And I'm going to give it to you. So stick with me and I'll show you how to grab it in just a few minutes. See, I just got off a call with a client, smart guy, budget conscious, has been making payments for years. When I showed him how credit card numbers actually work, he went silent. He blinked twice. And then he said, "How is this even legal?" And that's when I knew I had to make this video because I've personally walked over 1,000 people through these numbers in the past decade, and they all have the same reaction. First, they're shocked because they can't believe it. And then there's that moment of, wait, how long have I been getting ripped off like this? It's like watching Neo wake up from the Matrix. Now, if you've ever thought, I'm paying on time, but why is my balance barely moving? It's because you're on the wrong side of one of the most profitable businesses in America. They call it making payments. I call it the payment matrix. Now, most people think that the APR, the 15, 18, or whatever percent you think you're being charged on your credit card, you think that's what you're actually paying in interest. But here's the truth. The APR, it's just a distraction. What really matters is how your minimum payment is calculated and how the interest for that month is applied to that payment. While you're stressed out about money and cutting back on expenses, being financially responsible, the FDIC reported that banks raked in over $268 billion in profit last year alone. A huge chunk of that, it comes from people just like you and numbers just like this. Now, let me show you exactly how this works with real numbers. Now, there are a couple of ways credit card payments get designed. For simplicity's sake, though, I'll walk you through the most common one I've seen. And believe it or not, this one, it costs you less interest than the other way credit card payments get calculated. So let's say you've got a balance of $2,000 and an APR of 18%. Most payments are calculated on a percentage of your balance, usually between 2 and 4%. So we'll split the difference and use 3% as an example. A $2,000 balance times 3%, well, that gives you $60, and that would be your minimum payment with these numbers. But here's where the banks rob you blind. If you have an 18% APR, you have to divide that percentage by 12, and that's the number of months in a year. And then you get the interest for that month, and that gives you 1.5%. So 1.5 times that same $2,000 balance equals $30. That means $30 of your $60 payment is interest. And that, my friend, is 50% interest. 50% of your hard earned cash going to the pockets of the banks. And this is the least expensive method of the payment calculations for credit cards that they use. Now, if you want to know what your payments are costing you in actual interest every month, just drop interest in the comments and I'll send you a link to download my calculator. It's one of two tools that I want to give you for watching this video. When you see your own numbers with my free calculator, it just hits different because all the theory and concept in the world, it doesn't mean anything compared to what your numbers are and how your numbers work. And my calculator will show you exactly how much interest you're paying every month. Just be prepared though, because like the thousands of people I've already helped, you just might be a little shocked when you find out how much interest the banks have you really paying. And that's why this simple hack I'm about to show you is so important. But here's what really gets me fired up about this. You're doing everything they told you to do, making payments on time, following their rules, and being a responsible consumer. But the system is designed to keep you trapped while they pocket up to 50% or more of every payment you make. And this isn't by accident because remember last year the banks raked in over $268 billion in profit. And this is just one of the ways they did it. But this simple hack is how you can beat the banks at their own game. It's so simple, they hope you never discover it. Are you ready for this? All you need to do is double your minimum payment. That's it. Watch what happens when you do that. That $60 minimum payment becomes $120. That payment's interest is still $30 because it's based on the same balance. Now only 25% goes to the bank instead of 50%. You just cut their take in half. And added bonus, you pay off your debt twice as fast. And the banks hate it when people just like you figure this out because it costs them billions of dollars in interest profits. But this isn't just about credit cards. You're trapped in what I call the payment matrix. And that's a system designed to keep your money flowing from your pockets into theirs. Your mortgage, you pay 70 to 80% interest during the first decade. And when you keep refinancing to save a few bucks each month, or when you move, 70 to 80% interest is where you stay. We just talked about credit cards, but what about your car loan? structured to keep you making payments because you have to keep financing to buy cars. Student loans, built to last for decades and cost tens of thousands of dollars in interest. And this is how the banks make billions of dollars off your blood, sweat, and years of work. See, helping families like yours break free from this cycle and transform their payments into long-term wealth using their current income, nothing extra, is what I've been doing for 30 years. The results? We're talking an average of saving over $100,000 in interest and debt freedom 3 to 4 times faster than the payment matrix wants. My goal is to help you escape the payment matrix that is right now draining as much of your wealth production as possible. And that's why I'm going to give you 2 tools you can use to fight back, completely free because I think your family deserves better. The first tool is my How Much Interest Are You Really Paying calculator. This shows you your actual numbers across all your debt, not just credit cards. You have student loans, car payments, mortgages, everything. And the second one is the exclusive YouTube edition of my new book, Transforming Payments into Prosperity. Escape the payment matrix, become debt free, and skyrocket your wealth potential. It will show you just how the payment matrix works and help you realize why you need to get unplugged. Now, here's an example of a sample family I whipped together based on all the folks I've helped. Bottom line, they're paying over 56% interest every month, and they didn't even know it until they used my free calculator. So drop interest in the comments, and I'll send you a link where you can download both of these tools right away. All those interest payments, they belong in your pockets, not theirs. And that's what I want to help you do. Transform your payments into prosperity. It's time you unplug from the payment matrix and start building the future you truly deserve. So drop interest in the comments right now, and I'll get you a link where you can download my exclusive free edition of Transforming Payments into Prosperity and my How Much Interest Are You Really Paying calculator immediately. It's your money, your future, your choice. And just like the hundreds of thousands of people I've already helped over the past 3 decades, I think you deserve better, don't you? So drop interest in the comments, and I'll see you next time.